Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and a massive, massive welcome to What's On West Midlands with Philip Solomon. And I am he. I am he. And I'm going to do something a little bit different for you tonight. So I'm going to try and give you some ideas of places that you can go from tonight onwards. Um, I suppose places of interest, great fun. But I'm also going to try and find a few places towards the end of this special that I shall be doing for you with some places that you might be able to take your animals along to, because I think that's always, especially with your dogs. I hate to go out and not take my dog with me. I do really, but we'll talk about that later on. What I'm going to talk about now is, well, what else could you say? Dudley Zoo. Dudley Zoo. I have a lot of family who lived in Dudley Zoo. Dudley Zoo was a fantastic day. You can't take your animals there, though. No, not really, because it's all the animals that you go to see, isn't it? But, yeah, great day out for everyone, really. And yeah, it can be a bit. I used to love it when they got that chair lift that you used to be able to get on because they take it up to the castle as well. But I do believe they have different sort of facilities and ways that they can get you up there, or I just take it easy. That's what I have to do. I am that brilliant with me walking and that these days, and but I don't let that affect when I come up with great days for you to go out to. And of course, Dudley Zoo is always a great one. Drayton Manor Park, that's another really good one, really. You Tamworth Way. And you've got, again, you've got all sorts of entertainments of different things to see. And you've got the zoo, of course, but you've also got all those wonderful rides. But straight away, let me tell you, let's get underway with tonight, the 28th of August. Well, at the Grand Theatre tonight, there's a fantastic show on if you want to go and see it. It's called What's Love Got to Do with It? And of course, it's all the story about lady who I was a massive fan of. I think she's a wonderful singer and a wonderful person, Tina Turner, and you'll enjoy that. I don't tell you the prices, you've got to check that out for yourself. There's all sorts of different prices at these places, and they vary so much. If I was to tell you the ticket prices, we'd all get confused. But check out for you might whatever reductions you can get. There might be different things you can get off for if you're a senior, like me, I'm a senior these days, or if you're disabled or things like that, all those sort of things. And for your carer, it's always worth checking out. I do love the Grand Theatre. I remember, I think it was 20 was it which I don't know, about 2020 or something like that, when I was there and on stage, that is, and doing my demonstration of mediumship show. And it's a wonderful evening. It's a wonderful theatre. I love to visit again. It's not my favourite theatre. My favourite theatre is always the Alexandra Theatre in Birmingham, where I've always had very close links with. But it is a great theatre, and you'll enjoy it. Now, the arena, which is actually the Arena Theatre in Wolverhampton, which is actually attached to my old university. That's Wolverhampton University. And what they've got on at the moment, which might interest some of you, not all of you, it might be a little bit more specialised, but they're doing some great opportunities to take acting classes there. They're not cheap, in my opinion, I will say that now, but I believe they're very high quality. And as my dear Auntie Bertha, my late auntie, used to say, you only get what you pay for. I don't know if that's true today as much as it used to be, perhaps years ago, but it's a good opportunity. And when they've got shows on, don't be afraid to go along. People are quite surprised about the size of it. It's an 150 seater. And if you're anyone out listening tonight who does shows, put shows on themselves, I've had a lot of people getting in touch with me about telling me about their psychic evenings. I haven't really had much time to get back to you, but we will spotlight some of those things because it's something that I've always been very involved in myself. I just did a demonstration of clairvoyance for the divine spiritual service at Bilston Christian Spiritualist. I very much enjoyed it. It was lovely, and I enjoyed it. But all sorts of things. But if you don't let me know, then I can only search for what I can find for you. And I'm still going to make sure it's only quality that I recommend because I want you to come back every week and see what I've come up with for you. The Arena Theatre. 150 seat. I always think little theatres like that have a really great atmosphere. You know, they've got the theatre on the steps at Bridge North, Shropshire. It's only about 12 miles from Wolverhampton, isn't it, really? So it's definitely in our area. Uh, you know, you're far to go. And there's some great shows there. You have to walk down the steps, and it's a little theatre to the right hand side or the left hand side, depending which way you come up or go down. But it's a lovely little atmosphere, and that's worth checking out. Birmingham Hippodrome. Well, the Buddy Holly story is still rolling, and that's pretty great. Great event to see. Check all your dates now, double check all your dates because often the information that I'm sent and given to look at can quickly get out of date. But I try to keep it right up to current current being as I can. The Buddy Holly story, what a fantastic story. Buddy Holly and the Crickets. You come from a certain generation. I think those were certainly the band who influenced people like myself who played in groups and all the local bands here in Wolverhampton. I think of, you know, the Californians, the Montanas. If you come from the Black Country, you'll remember those. But it was all influenced by Buddy Holly and the Crickets and all those wonderful songs. I'm sure they'll be having all of them on the show. And it ain't actually Buddy Holly because Buddy Holly's up in heaven, isn't he? You know, but I'm sure they'll be presenting it in a way that it'll be absolutely great. And I'd like to say that myself, but I've got a lot of things on that I've got to do this evening. So there you go. But it will be fantastic. So Birmingham Hippodrome, the Buddy Holly story. The Swan Theatre in Worcester, the Company of Shadows, that sounds interesting. Exploring the human conditions and common sense of art. That sounds interesting, doesn't it? If you saw my little sort of shows that I put on each week for the on Thursday, yesterday that was, I was telling you all about psychic art and how you could get involved with that. And the Swan Theatre have got something on very interesting. I'll just repeat that again. The Company of Shadows. Explore the human conditions and common sense of art. That sounds would be right up my street. Might try and make that one if I can. Again, you need to check your dates. Now, I can't give you all the dates. I'll just find it for you. Put it up then. You've all got your internet or your little phones, you know. It's easy to do. Right. The Alexandra Theatre, you know, it's always my favourite theatre for everything. And at the moment, Queen by Candlelight, Alexandra Theatre, Saturday the 30th. That's tomorrow, isn't it? Uh, Au- August, Saturday the 30th of August. A fantastic tribute to that wonderful band. Who could ever forget the wonderful Freddie Mercury, and that wonderful Brian May, wasn't it, the guitar player in that wonderful guitar player? Do you know you? I'm sure you do. You Queen fans, but Mr. May and his dad, Mr. May Senior, actually made that guitar that he plays. That's wonderful, isn't it? Absolutely fantastic. And another Candlelight. Well, they're getting very, very popular, aren't they? I'm sorry I keep scratching myself. I was being under the lights. I record everything in my little studio here in where I come from, and you haven't got that much choice. So the lights are a little bit on me. They make you itch a little bit, but never mind. You'll excuse that, and you'll let me get away with moaning about it and getting on with it, won't you? But another wonderful candlelight tribute, but this one is to the Beatles, and it's at St Paul's Cathedral, Birmingham. Saturday, the 30th of August. Again, just coming up very shortly. And tomorrow, isn't it? Tomorrow, isn't it? I think that will be, or is it Sunday? That would be Sunday, wouldn't it? I've got Saturday down on there. Check the dates. I come up with things that I think are going to be great fun with you because I'm thoroughly fed up with people saying to me, there's nothing to do, there's nowhere to go. Or in Black Country, we ain't got nowhere to go, mate. You've got loads of fantastic places to go. You really have. Right, a variety show, an afternoon of music and dance and laughter for Tamworth Wellbeing Cancer Support. That sounds good, don't it? And something well worth supporting. Sunday the 31st at Tamworth Assembly Rooms. They're nice rooms, though, so a nice atmosphere. And you'll be able to go and general variety show. It says dance and laughter for everyone. That sounds fun, don't it? Yeah. Right. Next one. Going out of area a little bit, but it ain't for me because I spend a lot of time in Shrewsbury. Shrewsbury. They keep telling me up and down in London it's to say Shrewsbury. It's Shrewsbury. It's always been Shrewsbury, and it always will be. There you go, forcing my opinion. I shouldn't do that, should I? But yeah, they've got at the Seven Theatre, nice theatre that, Sunday the 31st, Lipstick on Your Collar. Remember that song from Connie Stevens? Lipstick on your collar, told a tale on you. Lipstick on your collar, showed you were untrue. I'd sing it for you, but we might get done for copyright, so better not do that. That sounds very interesting. That sounds loads of fun, don't it? It really does. Right. Remarkable Romans. Ooh, that sounds interesting. Remarkable Romans. Try your hand at Roman activities until Friday. That's the 29th of August. You ain't got much long time for that then. That's going to be tomorrow, isn't it? Shropshire Hills Discovery Centre, Craven Arms. And you can have a sort of go at all sorts of things that the Romans used to do. Gosh, I hope they're not burning any Christians and that now, because I'm a Christian spiritualist. I was thinking of going, but I don't fancy being thrown to the lions. I've got a big wolf here on my chest. No, no, that'll do for me. I'm joking. I'm being silly, aren't I? Be absolutely fantastic. And check what's available for the kids as well. See if it's in, or just adults. You would imagine that one would be for a lot of people, but you need to check, don't you? Right. Fantastic opportunity to visit the wonderful Black Country Museum. The Black Country Museum is always a great place to visit. I love it. And also the Blitzhill Museum out towards Telford. They're both fantastic museums. And go and see how we lived in the past and see where it's recreated with wonderful people playing the roles, playing the scenes. And they're both wonderful both museums, and I thoroughly recommend them to you. But this is a very special opportunity, fantastic opportunity, they say, to visit our Black Country Living Museum after hours. Oh, that would be interesting, wouldn't it? Dudley, Friday, the 29th of August, you can go and visit there, and it's after hours when it's dark. Now, they do say, and I do know it to be true, that they have a lot of strange goings on of a paranormal nature at the Black Country Museum. I have investigated it. I have been there, and it's frequently mentioned in my ghost books that I've written. Totally different to what I'm doing tonight, but just thought I might mention that. But it'd be a fantastic atmosphere, won't it? Being able to visit at night. Do you remember years ago when we were kids and the stories that our grandparents and parents would tell us about what the streets was like? Playing football until it was pitch dark, so you couldn't see the ball. And that's all gone now, isn't it? You can't really let your kids do that. It's neither safe or appropriate, is it? But I don't know. Sometimes they say that the old days were the best days, and some say these days are the best days of your life. I don't know. It's very difficult. But that is a good opportunity. Go along and go to that if you can. See what Black Country was like when it went dark. Be grateful. Right. What else have I got for you? Oh yes, yes, this one is good. All about the 70s party. Now, if you're a little bit younger, perhaps than the people I've just been talking about, and you're a 70s kid. I was a 70s kid. I used to get all around 60s and 70s. That was my era. But what they're doing at the Buttermark is a fantastic venue, that is. And in Shrewsbury, Saturday, they're having, it's called All About 70s Party for the over 25s. Well, if you remember the 70s, you're certainly going to be in over 25s, aren't you? But what a great way to go and see that sort of thing. A 70s party at the fantastic Butter Market. I have to say, really, they wanted to book me there once, and for various reasons, we didn't take the booking forward. And I'm sad about that because if they asked me to do it again, I think I probably would. I think I probably would. So anybody's listening from the Butter Market, let me know. Right, come on then, keep it going. Right, Oh, yes, this is going to be fun. Festival fun for all motorcycle and car enthusiasts at the British Motorcycle Garden, Gaydon, Warwickshire, Saturday the 30th of August. Now, I'm very much into that, old motorcycles and classic and vintage cars. I'm lucky enough to own and drive a little MG Midget, 1966. Tartan red, very similar to the colour England wore that year to win the World Cup. So I do love that. And I ain't really up to motorcycles really anymore, to be honest. But for many, I've had them. I had a BSA 810 Super Rocket Classic British motorcycle. Triumph Bonneville. I had a Triumph Bonneville. And little ordinary bikes going back to when I was a little lad. BSA Bantams, James, things like that. But that will be fantastic, that will. Fest, Rust, and they call it the Rust, and I like that. It's actually called the Rustival Festival, fun for all motorbike and car enthusiasts. I suppose a lot of them that from these days now are rusted away and gone, aren't they? It's a great program on television. I think it's something, well, I think they call it I don't know, the something shed. And Henry on there goes and sort of buys old bikes. Uh, Shed and I think it's called Shed and Buried, and they go and find all these old motorcycles and cars and different pieces of equipment, and it's really worth watching that. It's an interesting program. Right, talking about the old days. An antique and vintage fair at the County Showgrounds, Stafford, 30th to the 31st. So it's on for 2 days. You'll enjoy that. It's always a fantastic, well, well-run place, and sounds fun, doesn't it? That sounds absolutely a lot of fun. I love antiques. I would like to do that program where they have you on there, and you've got the red team and the blue team. Uh, I was brought up in a family that were general dealers and antiques and all that. So I would like to do that. That would be good fun. Right. The Heritage Habitat Fun-Filled Day and the Natural World at Aston Hall in Birmingham. Now, if you've never been to Aston Hall, you are absolutely missing out on it. This particular event is on the 31st of August, but any time Aston Hall is fantastic. Again, a very haunted house, but that no, well, that might be of interest to you. I could tell you a very well. I will. I'll tell you a very interesting story about Aston Hall. You all know me, I think, with my radio work and all that, and music and all that sort of thing, broadcaster. But first and foremost, I'm a spiritualist medium. And my mum was before me. And many, many years ago, she visited Aston Hall with couple of members of the family. And she went in and she spent about 20 minutes talking to this little old lady who was sitting on a chair in Aston Hall. Well, it turns out later, much to my mum's surprise, that there was no such little lady that had ever been there sitting in that little chair. My mum had had a conversation with her for about half hour. So there certainly was something there going on from the a visitation from the other side. And she's a pretty good medium, my mum. She could generally tell the difference between spirit or living, and but that one beat her. And I believe others have seen that little old lady as well. But that's not what it's all about. This one, it's a heritage and habitat fun day filled with things to do of the natural world or the supernatural. No, not the natural world at Aston Hall in Birmingham. It's not very far from Aston Villa Football Club, that. You have a great day. Talking about football, we don't do the football on this show because, all you West Midland fans, Coventry, Wolves, Birmingham, Aston Villa, Walsall, you all know what's happening with your club better than I could ever, sort of tell you about. So I think like, we don't do that one really. So I have one or two people say, couldn't you tell us about what's happening? Not really, because there's lots of other people do that. A fantastic show on if you're interested in, the football is Daz Isles show on BBC WM. I think that starts from about 6 and goes straight through to 7 o'clock. Definitely a very interesting Friday night program. That good friend of mine. Right. Mowersley Folk and Arts Festival, still rolling, still a fantastic venue. I think it's one of the best one of the best festivals and venues in the country. I really do. And it's on from Friday the 29th through to Sunday the 31st of August. You've got some great, all sorts of artists of a folk nature on there. But you got the Water Boys as well, Pete Doherty and Father John Misty. That's an interesting one and really good show, good festival, and not too far to travel right here in the West Midlands. Moseley Fowl. That's in Birmingham, of course, but wherever you are in the West Midlands, I've tried to keep it as close to that as what I can for you. Right, having said that, if you're interested in a day trip to London or you like to go and see the sights, London North Western Railway are going to offer a cheap day trip tickets to London from £9. That's good value, that is, isn't it? 5.99 if you have a regular rail card. Now, I don't normally bring much things up outside of the West Midlands because this is what this show's about. What's on West Midlands with Philip Solomon. So, but I'm breaking my rules a bit on that one because I think that's a good offer. I'll tell you again, London North Western Railway and its railway are going to offer cheap day trip tickets to London from £9. You know, again, look for all the reductions and things that you can get it for a bargain. You're gonna check out that quick. I could do with a trip to London. It's been a while since I've been to London. Last time me and my wife were in London, I had a very special day because I had to go along to Buckingham Palace. And that's my story. I might tell you about it one day. They're fantastic day. But London is fantastic. And the museum as well. We've got some fantastic museums in London. Right, keep it going. Families should utilise England's £3 bus fare cap to get out and enjoy everything their area has to offer. I thoroughly agree. Now you've been told. Among popular tourist destinations in the West Midlands include Alton Towers, West Midlands Safari Park, the National Space Centre, Iron Bridge, all those sorts of places, and it's capped at £3. That's a bargain, isn't it? You know, that's a bargain, really. I suppose a lot of us Holdens, we could use our passport, pass cards, and go anywhere. I don't know how far you can go on your pass card, I'm not sure. But a £3 special bus fare offer. That's not bad, is it? That's pretty good. Right. September the 6th. Now, that is towards the end of our sort of advising places you can go to. But, pardon me, but lovers can watch two timeless romantic comedies in the grounds of Ralston Hall Castle. Again, it's quite close to Shrewsbury. I spent a lot of time in Shrewsbury, I do, but you know, it's close enough to the West Midlands, isn't it? Bridgenorth, Shrewsbury, Ludlow. These are places that all of our West Midlanders love, aren't they? That sounds like a nice time, doesn't it? That sounds like a nice evening. September the 6th. Film lovers. Well, I don't like the films today like they used to be. Too much violence in films for me today, really. How much I enjoyed watching The Godfather this week. It's not a bit violent, was it? Anyway, I digress. But yeah, it won't be nothing like that. But film lovers can watch two timeless romantic comedies in the grounds of Rowston Castle. As I say, it's near Shrewsbury. That's a good one, isn't it? Well, finally, before I say goodnight and God bless, as I always do, you will need to check out prices and times on the internet, as they often vary, and sometimes you can get concessions of all sorts of different things. I just find you lots of interesting events to do and go because I'm fed up of people in the West Midlands saying we've got nothing to do, we've got nowhere to go. You've got loads of things to do, but you have to get up out of your chair, or get in your wheelchair if you have those problems, whatever. Use your stick and go and visit these places. I just find these interesting places for you to go, as I say. So you can't say there's nothing to do. I don't believe that you can. Also, let me know if you have any dog-friendly places to visit, because I think that's a very important thing that is often forgotten by a lot of venues. So many people have a dog, don't they, or a cat. It's hard to take your cat anywhere, isn't it, really? Because they don't like to be too far away from the vicinity of their own home, do they? And and of course you wouldn't want to lose them, wouldn't you? But a lot of people have dogs, and they say, "Oh, we can't go anywhere because we've got the dog." Well, we're going to try and find places that you can take your dog to, and in the West Midlands and a little bit closer. Also, let me know if you come across any dog-friendly places to visit. We're particularly for looking now as you want an event mentioning as well on what's on West Midlands. I've had a few this week, but they're not really in the West Midlands. What I want you to do, if you've got an event on in the West Midlands, let me know as soon as you can, so as I can mention it the Friday coming up for the weekend or that evening that it's going to be on. And yeah, that would be great. If you want to send me a message, all you need to do is get your pencil or your pen ready. It's p.solomon@blueyonder.co.uk. That's my email. Or you can message me on Facebook and let me know about your event. And you can tell me if you like the show or the style or you'd like me to do anything different. Well, that's it for this week. I've come up with a loads of places for you to be and go. As I always say, be good. You can't be good. Be careful. And I'll speak to you in a week's time about some more great places to visit in the West Midlands. Good night and God bless the will to you all, one and all. Thank you for joining me.